Well, welcome everybody to tonight's call, and I'm super duper excited to have the amazing Gordon Hester on our call tonight. I'm not going to spend too much time rabbiting on other than to say that this man's an absolute legend in our industry, and if Jeff Roberti is the grandfather to our Juice Plus team and the Juice Plus company, then Gordon is the godfather. To those of you who don't know Gordon, he is a financial analyst and has worked closely side by side with Jeff Roberti for a couple of decades, closely watching the growth of his business and advising Jeff on where to look forward in growing his business. But not only that, he's spent a lot of his time advising the Juice Plus company on all things economy and finance and where our industry is going. And he certainly has definitely built into myself and also a number of the NMDs who are on the call tonight. And we are so grateful for all of the advice that he has given us, which we no doubt would have paid thousands for. I sort of first really learned about Gordon when I learned about this concept called the S-curve. I'd never even heard of what the S-curve was before, but when he taught me what the S-curve was, a lot of the things fell into place in me understanding the network marketing and direct sales industries, or just sales themselves. More recently than that, a couple of years ago, he did a leadership webinar on the power of network marketing and really solidified my belief in this industry, the network marketing industry. And tonight he's going to share a lot of that. But we're really excited that Gordon has spent some time in developing his new book called Reset, the Imagining or re-imaging of the direct selling industry. Is going to tell us a little bit more about that. But tonight really is just to give you a little bit of an insight and create a little bit more curiosity such that you will get to meet this incredible man when you come along.
This is a Zoom call. There's like hundreds and hundreds of people on this call.
Somebody I can hear talking. Can you please mute your line out if possible, please? Someone who just said there's hundreds of people on the call, please mute your line out. So without further going on, I'm just going to unmute you, Gordon. I'm just going to hand it straight over to you, my friend.
Smart, thank you so much. And thanks for everybody for joining in. It's a pleasure to be on the call, and I'm certainly excited to be coming in next month. My second trip ever to Australia, and this one we're going to get to see the whole country, so it's going to be great. And it's kind of a special trip for me in particular because I feel that like my greatest strength in the Juice Plus business is spending time with the leadership because I live in that world, and I get to spend lots of time doing sort of something you guys have never probably been a part of. You know, you have a lot of Juice Plus trainings. You certainly have a lot of personal development type trainings. It's very rare in network marketing to have a business development workshop. So like, how do you learn this business of network marketing? How do you understand it so that you can achieve it at the highest level? And that was kind of what got me excited about coming in, these conversations about the possibility of doing those things. So I'm excited about it. But tonight I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about kind of what's going on in the industry, in particular, what's going on with the Juice Plus company and why I feel you guys are a little bit different than what I'm seeing in the industry these days. Actually, to no surprise, ahead of the curve. Juice Plus seems to always be leading the way in very important things that are going on. And then to kind of talk a little bit about what the company's investing in, and finally just touch on what I'm going to be doing when I come in town, so that I hope to see lots of you there. I guess the first place to start is with a big congratulations. I continue to follow the data with Australia, have been for years, and I have to tell you that Australia is one of the fastest growing Juice Plus markets, but in my opinion, beyond the speed of growth and so much new leadership and kind of a new renewed energy, certainly in a momentum phase, what's really exciting to me is that I see it as healthy growth. You know, not all growth is good. You can grow at a speed that you abandon fundamentals. And in our business, the fundamentals are relationships, especially with customers and what we call our micro entrepreneurs, our part-time people. And we're seeing really healthy growth, and it's being built on a solid foundation of fundamentals that we know that work. And, I look at the entire Juice Plus markets all over the world. And I will tell you, and I'm not the only one that believes this from the inside, is that you guys are the example of where this business is headed. You're the example of what we want. Your solid fundamentals with healthy growth and, kind of an amazing amount of growth right now. And it's exciting, and you should be celebrating that, and certainly understand that's a great time to roll up your sleeves and go to work. For those of you that don't know me, let me just briefly touch on my background before I go into the call. I have been part of network marketing and around the Juice Plus company probably longer than some of you have been alive. I'm at 26 years and counting. And, it originally started, I wasn't in network marketing. I was in traditional business. I was an accountant by trade, a tax accountant. Got involved many years ago when I met a guy named Jeff Roberti. Actually, very few people know this, but I actually built an NMD position. It took me 5 months to get to NMD. Later on, I ended up kind of working for Jeff, and this was in 1991. And I decided to move back to Florida and work for Jeff. And I spent 25 years of my life being the CEO of Jeff's business and financial world. And I won't go into the financial part of things, but the business side of things, I was involved in pretty much every aspect of Jeff's business, from the development of countries to a lot of the leadership coaching. Jeff's story continues to grow. He's now approaching $100 million in bonuses and commissions with the Juice Plus business. I think the thing that I was most proud of in my 25 years is that the last 4 years that I was there were the fastest growing. So, we always understood we weren't in the game for the short game. We wanted to build something that could last generations. We wanted to build something that had growth and stability, and to be able to have a business the size of his, to be able to grow faster toward the end than what we had grown the entire time was a lot of fun. But I will tell you, for me, what my business with Jeff was, that 25 years was really learning the business from in the trenches, working with leaders and trying to understand what they're going through and how to develop this business and kind of the secrets of doing it well. And, can't really argue that Jeff didn't do it well, considering he's one of the top 10 income earners in the history of direct selling and network marketing. But I retired from that position in April 2016. Still keep up with Jeff actually multiple times a week. It's kind of crazy. I think I talk to him now more than I did when I worked with him. And during that time, I also, as Tamara mentioned, I worked on and off with the Juice Plus business as a consultant. So I was brought in at various times to be involved with things that were going on in the company and globally. So kind of a good example would be, I got involved with the entire Juice Plus launch because that thing started as a business plan on my desk. And, kind of was involved in the early stages of that. And, when Australia opened, I was involved with Jeff in opening that market. Today, I am pretty much spending a lot of my time as a consultant with the Juice Plus company, working on various global projects, and in particular, spending time in an area called BMR that I'll mention later, which is really the company's focus on the investment into ensuring the future is better. But I will tell you, inside the Juice Plus consulting role, I think what I learned was seeing how the business worked, seeing how the company supported the field, and that ultimately is their job. That they are there to support and help all of you be more successful in the business, and to ensure that they're doing their part to have the best possible scenario they can to make your business grow. So not only did I get Jeff's story of seeing it from the field, but I've got the company's perspective. And then kind of recently, earlier this year, I got invited, and there's less than 20 of us in the world, to be part of the direct selling research committee. So I'm a bit of an analysis by nature, love data, love information, and getting involved with that research committee now got me to see the inside of direct selling, get to see kind of what the association that oversees the entire industry is doing, and all the research from all these other companies, and to network with other companies. So with all that background, what I really want to kind of share with you tonight at the beginning is what is this thing called network marketing, and kind of what's going on within that context of that. And this is kind of what my book is about, the re-imaging of network marketing. And might sound like a little bit of a strange title, but I will tell you, as great as it's been, there's so much going on right now in network marketing that is changing the entire future of where network marketing is headed. And I know that change sometimes can be a scary thing. In this case, I don't think it's a scary thing. I think what's going on is going to take network marketing as a business model and as a distribution channel to levels it's never seen before. And I certainly think, since all of you are in the network marketing business with Juice Plus, it's important to understand what's going on and to get positioned in that and figure out, how to take advantage of the momentum that's coming. Clearly, Juice Plus is, in my opinion, a bit of an anomaly in network marketing. I say that not because I'm not a fan of network marketing. I absolutely am. But Juice Plus has always sort of led the charge with change. And I think it's important in a world where there's lots of network marketing companies to understand why Juice Plus is different and, sort of what differentiates us from everybody else. And that is said, to kind of understand what's going on behind the scenes. I will tell you this, in my 26 years, a lot of that time being involved with the company too, I think it's important in the field to understand that if the company isn't excited about the future and they're not investing in the future, it will have some impact on your future, because they play a big part in this and in every aspect of your business. And I will tell you, in my 26 years, I've never seen the company more invested in the future and ensuring the best is yet to come. And this is this whole BMR movement, this business model reimagination that I'll touch at the end. So let's start with network marketing. You'll often hear this kind of direct selling and network marketing, and I'm not really sure that most people understand the difference. So let's start there. In my opinion, direct selling is not a thing, it's a concept. And it started literally civilizations ago with a simple concept that the best way to sell a product or service was to have a person involved, the storyteller. And, kind of the early stages of direct selling kind of came into place in the US in the mid 1800s. Some preacher decided, I'm going to sell books door to door, and he built this sales force of independent contractors, people, these entrepreneurs that wanted to be part of this. And this was sort of the birth of direct selling as we know it today. And that went on for many, many years until the mid 1900s, actually 1945. Somebody had the idea that, wow, why don't we allow our sales force to build a sales force? And this was the beginning of network marketing. And I will tell you today, if I look at direct selling globally, I believe that direct selling is network marketing. I don't believe there's literally maybe a handful of companies that are truly direct selling companies. And what I mean by that is they don't have a comp plan that allows their distributors to maximize their income by building a team. And that's what makes network marketing unique. So in the context of talking about direct sales, just understand I'm really talking about network marketing. Kind of the second thing that many people don't know is just how big network marketing is. If you kind of look at it in the context of the global marketplace, network marketing exists in over 170 countries, so about 86% of the world. If I go back and look at the data over the last 25 years, I will tell you that we're in a 25-year uptrend. So whether we're looking at sort of a growth trend, whether I study it from the concept of our sales going up, or whether I study it from the concept are more people joining network marketing to own their own business, both are going up. And in 2016, both are at record highs. So not only are we seeing this long-term uptrend, but we're seeing more and more momentum from year to year. Right now, the network marketing business as a distribution channel of selling products and services does about $200 billion a year globally. And there are just over 100 million network marketing entrepreneurs that are part of that. it's said it's pretty much amazing for people that are out there telling you that this is not a legitimate business model and that network marketing doesn't matter. That they clearly haven't looked at the numbers. I mean, if you kind of think about $200 billion, 107 million entrepreneurs, and a business model, actually, if I take the 25 years, that's done over $3 trillion in sales. So this isn't just legal, this is meaningful and it's proven and it's only getting better. If I kind of go into Australia, so let me go into your market a little bit. Your market stands out. And what I mean by stands out of those 170 countries, there's 23 of them that are billion-dollar markets. So markets that do in excess of $1 billion a year in sales. And in 2016, of course, Australia was on that list. And by the way, it wasn't a couple years ago. So it's been interesting that your country as a whole in network marketing is going through growth. What was even more exciting than being on the list was the fact that you had the 5th highest growth rate of any country that exists on that list. Kind of just to give you a perspective, Australia has over 650,000 network marketing distributors and doing sales in Aussie dollars of over about 1.6 billion a year. So I kind of look at this and can tell you it's sort of an exciting time to be part of network marketing. Because sometimes you got to put numbers in perspective. So let me try to do that for you. If I compare sales to sort of the growth of the economy, so the question would be, well, does network marketing over time grow faster than the economy? And of course, because if it's something meaningful, you would expect it to grow faster. And looking at the data, I can tell you that network marketing over 25 years has grown about 30% faster than the global economy. So this is something that even in good times and bad times, even with global growth that's occurred in 25 years, we have a much larger growth rate. What's staggering is that if I just don't look at sales, but I look at sales force. So why are so many people joining direct selling and looking to take ownership of their life? And why is direct selling done well, and how does that compare to the rest of the job world? Because everybody's sort of evolves around the problem of people not being able to get jobs. And I will tell you, in the last 25 years, the growth of the sales force has almost been 20 times the growth of the job market globally. So this just gives you a perspective of how powerful network marketing is and the impact it has on the world. So beyond the history lesson, I think the more important thing to me is like what's driving it. But none of us are going to make a business off the past. We're going to make a business off the future. And it's important to understand what's driving that, because ultimately we want to align with that and take advantage of that and innovate around that. So the first thing for me is this movement back toward what they call customer-centric, which is kind of a fancy way of saying, hey, we're going back to really focusing on customers here. This was always the foundation of the concept of direct selling, the idea of marketing to end consumers. And, as network marketing came in over the years, I think the industry took a pretty big shift to being opportunity-centric. So, recruiting became the message, a lot of lifestyle stuff, a lot of marketing hope around the opportunity, and to a point where it's created some perception problems. It's created some issues. And about 3 years ago, things started to change. And companies started to realize that, we don't want to just grow marketing opportunity. We want to make sure that we do that around the concept of having a solid growing customer base. And that is customer centric. So right now we're seeing things in network marketing that we just have never seen before. Kind of the idea of big data. In the world today, everybody wants to understand their customer. They want to know what they're doing. They want to know what the ideal customer experience is. They want to study the customer journey. And of course, the goal in all this is not just to get a customer, but more important, to keep a customer and turn them into a raving fan, so that you sort of have... Are we still there? I hear... Mark, you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, sorry, Gordon. I just had to unmute somebody. Off you go. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that. So, we're seeing this big data and understanding the customers and paying attention to the customer experience and the customer journey. And I will tell you, this is really important because if you kind of understand the criticism of network marketing, it has always been around this issue of having real customers and only kind of having customers that were distributors. And of course, this whole customer-centric thing is nothing new to Juice Plus. This has sort of been the Juice Plus way for as long as I can remember. But the rest of the world's just figuring this out. Of course, we're way ahead of where they are, and we're going to continue to do that. I will tell you, there is one thing that's really changing that you have to pay attention to, and that is that forever, as long as I can remember, the customer relationship always was managed and owned by the distributor. So you have your customers, and everything to do with their experience and their retention belongs to you. I will tell you that that's changing. What's changing now are companies are getting involved. They're getting involved in communicating with customers. They're getting involved in feeding material to customers. They're getting involved in lead generation. I mean, you cannot imagine the amount of e-commerce focus that's coming from companies. And this is all really good information or good for the distributors, because all this is going to do is strengthen your ability to keep customers, and it's going to allow you to focus more on other areas of your business. So the companies that we see going customer-centric are literally changing the game. They are changing the way our business is being done. And as I said, this is only a positive thing for network marketing and certainly for all of your businesses. The second thing that we're seeing is this concept of what I call entrepreneurial crowdsourcing. So if you go back to the history of direct selling and look at network marketing, we did something that had never been done before. We innovated a concept, and that concept was, well, why can't we, instead of hiring people, be able to have independent contractors and entrepreneurs become sort of the field, become our sales force? And this goes back early to the mid-1900s. Today, I will tell you that what we created in direct selling and network marketing, the rest of the world is copying. And where do you see it? Everywhere. I don't care whether it's Amazon, whether it's Uber, but whether it's one of the other 2,000 affiliate marketing programs out there, whether it is other direct selling companies. The world has sort of figured out what direct selling knew 75 years ago, that bringing an entrepreneurial crowdsourcing model into business is a game changer. And it is a game changer because more and more people in the world want to own their own business. They want to have some level of control in their life. They don't want to work for other people. In my lifetime, I've never seen so many people that don't want to work for other people. And I'll talk a little bit about what's driving this trend in the future. But I will tell you this. This is really important to pay attention to, because we now have more competition for the distributor base than we've ever had in the past. But we also have a massive advantage because every one of these models is truly a direct affiliation. It's like a one-level network marketing plan. To me, it's almost like a job that's packaged as a business, because ultimately, I'll take Uber as an example. What happens if I sign up for Uber? Oh my gosh, I got my own business. I work when I want. I can, trade dollars for hours. If I want to work 5 hours, maybe I can make, $150 a day, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, you can't build a team. And that means you cannot leverage people, which means you cannot build business wealth. And what makes network marketing unique, and it will continue to make it unique, is that one sole component, the ability to get paid off for the efforts of others, the ability to build residual income by having repeat customers, and passive income by building a team that's doing the same thing. And this is sort of the message and the narrative that we need to get out to the world, that yes, we love that there's more entrepreneurs than ever, but understand, if you're looking for a better mousetrap, if you have an interest in residual income, if you have an interest in passive income, if you have an interest in any form of time and financial freedom, instead of trading dollars for hours, we are the answer. And this is this is good that whole thing's going on and everybody's caught up, because it's going to make us sharpen our sword. It's going to make us better at what we do. The next trend that's kind of going on you want to pay attention to goes back to social media. And I call this the omni-channel trend. So go back 5 years in direct selling, and what you would have seen is there's one channel to market products and services, and that's the distributors. And they have always been that single channel to get products and services out to consumers. That no longer is the case. Today, if you look at network marketing, everything is omni-channel. Everybody's in the e-commerce business. Everybody's selling on social media. There's so many ways for the customer to find out about your products, to find out about you, and to be able to purchase products. I went on, I was doing a research project for the company, and I went on Amazon, and I was shocked that every company out there is got their products on Amazon these days. And it really isn't the companies that are doing it. It's distributors that use it for lead generation. There's a whole business strategy behind that I don't have to go into. But I will tell you this is a massive advantage, because if we do not embrace an omni-channel approach, when consumers are looking all over the place to buy, it will impact the future of things. So this omni-channel thing, this whole social media and technology influence around this, is changing network marketing. And probably the most obvious way to see it is in the years I have kept data, which is now 27 years, I will tell you the last 5 have been the fastest growing. Why is that? Because of this change, because the world's evolving and we're evolving with it. And this is something you always have to remember. In business, we call this stasis, this idea of being stuck in a comfort zone. Right now, network marketing is fighting to find relevancy in the marketplace and leadership in the marketplace. We want to continue to attract more and more consumers and more entrepreneurs. And we want to make sure that we don't just attract them, but we keep them. And this becomes the home for where they buy products and where they build their future. And omnichannel plays a big part in that. The next one that kind of matters, and this really matters to your business. If I were to open the lines and say, okay, tell me what the lifeblood of your business is. And it would be interesting to see what the answers would be. But I will tell you, I think that for most people, they believe the lifeline or the lifeblood of network marketing is recruiting and leadership. And I certainly don't want to discount the power of either. Recruiting is always going to be foundational to our business, as it is with every growing business. Who doesn't want more and better people? I mean, it's kind of a common sense thing. However, if you look at our business, understand this: without customers, there is no business. That isn't about our business, that's about all business. So businesses now in network marketing that didn't necessarily think in this customer-centric way have begun to realize that without customers, there's no business. And without stable, repeat customers, what you end up doing with recruiting is just churning people. It's this idea of empty recruiting. You recruit, and after a while, what it feels like is you're running in quicksand. It's like, why can't I get my business to move forward? Well, because you're not keeping customers in the game, and they are the foundation of everything. Without customers, there's no business. But if we step outside that sort of fundamental business concept and we look at network marketing, you have to understand there's different categories of people in network marketing. So there are these things that we call micro entrepreneurs. This is the part-time people. This is for you, the dealers, all the way up to SC. And then there are these junior leaders, the SSCs and Qs that begin to develop and become leaders in the business and in the future. And then, of course, you get into these leaders that now are NMDs. You start to see these leaders developing kind of like a full-time income and a different kind of a lifestyle around this. And then you've got one step farther that some of these NMDs that really understand this game turn into these elite leaders. And these are the people that we, like the Jeffs of the world. And believe me, he isn't alone. I've seen more of these elite leaders in the last couple of years than I've ever seen in the history of my 26 years. And these elite leaders are the ones that really have time and financial freedom. They have understood that by building this massive amount of relationships with customers and micro entrepreneurs and developing leaders from that, that there's really unlimited potential in what their life can be. But this is what I want you to take away from this. Although there are different categories, understand that about 98% of the business are micro entrepreneurs. And this is kind of what the industry has woken up to. Listen, if 98% of our sales force is these, we better pay attention to how we keep them in the game and how we advance them up the ladder. And if we can't advance them, so if I have an SDD that I can't get to an SC, then the question you have to ask yourself is, how am I going to keep them in the game? You know, because ultimately engagement is about the process of keeping people involved in your culture. So micro entrepreneurs matter. And I will tell you that looking at the data and looking at Australia as a good example, I kind of was curious, well, why are you guys having so much success? It isn't just customers. You've always been good at customers, and it is foundational to the belief system that Australia was built on, and I don't believe that will ever get away from that. However, why is there growth now? Like, what happened? And I will tell you, I think this whole micro-entrepreneurial thing played a big part in it. There were some changes, but when you look at what happened from dealer to SC, in Australia, your leaders moved somewhere between 8 to 10 times the amount of people from dealer to SC as any other Juice Plus market in the world. Now you think about that in the context of your business. If you're moving 8 to 10 times this amount of people to SC, and you get them to SC where they are independent so that they can succeed without you having to develop them, this is like the holy grail. This is the way the business should work. Strong customer base, really strong micro-entrepreneurial funnel, and then turning those micro-entrepreneurs either into long-term customers, wholesale buyers that have small customer base, a small team, or even better, independent sales coordinators that you can build on. And if this is what you learn how to do, there's really no end to what you can do in this business. But I will tell you this, as much as we talk and we search for leadership, and that will be important, understand that if you don't take care of this lifeblood, if you don't take care of customers, you don't take care of micro entrepreneurs, there is no business. There is nothing but a churning effect. And you'll feel it at SC. And so often I talk to SCs and they're like, oh, gosh, I can't get my business to move forward. Yeah, because you keep losing customers and you keep losing these micro entrepreneurs, and they are the lifeblood of your business. So network marketing's figured that out, and that's a good thing because it's going to make a huge difference in our in sort of the stability of our business and our ability to be leadership, build more leadership. The last one kind of fits into this, and that is the business narrative has changed. So as long as I can remember, the narrative about network marketing was built on the exception. So we parade the most successful distributors. They are the stories that we tell. We tell them from stage, we tell them in social media. It's not that the stories aren't true, they're absolutely true. Some of them are actually very understated to what the truth is. But here's the thing, if I tell the entire world the story of a small percentage of people, you have to ask yourself, is there a consequence to this? You know, if we're marketing hope around the exception, are we doing a disservice to network marketing? And it turns out that this is the whole foundation of the perception challenge that exists in network marketing today. This idea of telling everybody that you're going to be the exception to the rule, and not understanding that for 98% of your distributor base, this business will be a form of supplemental income. And a lot of people think, well, that's not really exciting. I will tell you, you might want to go look at the data about people. $300 to $500 a month is a game changer for most people. Most people, I kind of remember growing up when we used to have a joke, oh, people are trying to live paycheck to paycheck. Now they're trying to figure out how to even to get there. Like, the world's getting tougher, the world's getting harder. And I think this whole supplemental income thing is what's driving all these affiliate models and you know, all this entrepreneurial stuff. It's the world saying, look, we need to just make more money to be able to have things we want, to be able to make choices that we can do. You know, maybe for a mom, it's being able to send their kid to a school that they want. Maybe it's having a car for the family. Maybe it's taking a vacation. But the power of supplemental income is growing as a story, and it's something that you need to embrace and you need to highlight and you need to celebrate, because for the large majority of people, this is a difference maker. Now, we'll tell you from an income standpoint, we know how much supplemental income it matters to keep somebody in the game. There have actually been studies on this. There's a term for it in network marketing. We call it golden handcuffs. So what golden handcuffs, the idea of, okay, if I'm going to handcuff somebody into the culture, how much money do they need to make? And the answer is about $300 to $500 a month. So if you can get your leaders or your business to even a solid SC business with customers and a small team, what you have is meaningful income. And then you have the power of network marketing on top of it. You have the ability to take this meaningful income and turn it into something so much more. So I think when we talk about the evolution of the narrative, what's really happened is network marketers have realized, promoting unrealistic expectations around the opportunity might seem like a good idea because it really is easy to recruit on that. But when you can't deliver on hope, what you lose is trust. And that's too big of a cost. So our rule with Jeff and I for as long as I was there was, listen, we don't ever want to promote a hope that we can't deliver on, because ultimately it is not hope that matters, it's turning hope into reality. And that's the foundational business message you have to take away, and sort of where the network marketing as industry is coming back to, sort of embracing, let's tell the whole story and build from there. So now if I look at the Juice Plus business, I will tell you this. I think the timing of being involved in the Juice Plus business is incredible. I don't know if it's the best ever, because I would really have to sit down and think about that. But I also don't know that it isn't the best ever, because if you look at things from a company perspective, I have never seen, we've never had this level of success. We've never seen the customer base growing like this. We've never seen the amount of leadership come into the business. We've never seen the level of success that we're seeing with people that are new in the Juice Plus business. So when you look at those things, it's hard not to be excited about the timing, but to understand the timing, you just have to go back to a very, very basic kind of issue related to all opportunity. And we call it the problem solution paradigm. So what's a great business? What's a great opportunity? Something that solves a problem. So often business, that's all you're really doing is building solutions to solve problems. One of my mentors used to say that business is nothing more than the pursuit of higher quality problems. And I believe there's some truth to that. And as I look back at, so what problems are we solving? Why is Juice Plus doing well? The first problem that we're solving is one that is literally eroding the fabric of the global landscape, and that's healthcare. I don't care where you go study healthcare. What I can tell you is you will find problems. And in a lot of countries, and with a lot of people, especially with the financial component around this problem is bigger now than it's ever been, and almost to the point of being catastrophic for people. So this is a good thing from an opportunity standpoint, the fact that this problem of healthcare continues to grow, and that we're part of the solution. And the solution we got into goes all the way back to the beginning of Juice Plus. Listen, we looked at all the data, and it was really simple. Everybody was pretty much saying the same thing. The way to solve the healthcare system is stay out of it, to get healthy. And it was built around this concept of prevention. And this is the direction Juice Plus went. And they went into the supplement business because Juice Plus fit a really important concept for Jay and the team. And I still remember the story, how all this started when Jeff and I went to see Jay and talk about the idea of Juice Plus, and this, back then it was called Juice on the Run. That was the business plan, and this concept of supplements. And as you can imagine, the whole history before Juice Plus from that was environmental and air and smoke detectors. It was almost like marketing appliances. It was truly a direct selling company. So we knew that supplements equaled residual income, that we could build repeat business, and this would be a game changer. And I remember Jay telling us that, listen, boys, that's just what he called us. Listen, boys, I'm not going to be another kind of Me Too vitamin company. And then they began to understand that the last thing Juice Plus is a Me Too vitamin company. What Juice Plus is a concept that was put into reality. And I still remember reading the business plan and thinking, wow. And that wow was, wow, can you really put food in a capsule? Can I take fruits and vegetables and in some way preserve the value of food and put them in a capsule? And although you'll never replace the power of eating healthy, maybe I can supplement this and strengthen this. And this was the birth of Juice Plus. This was kind of, I don't know, I think 1993. So what's that, 24 years ago? And it's kind of interesting because if you look back on that, this was a very new concept. This was like the Jetsons. This was like space travel. It's like, wow, nobody had ever done this and kind of figured out how. And now we look at the whole supplement business and we realize there's this whole new category that didn't exist back there called whole food supplementation. And I believe that Juice Plus had a big role in creating that, in creating this understanding that whole food nutrition really mattered. And of course, you know, today you can't, I don't believe Juice Plus has any competition. You know, if you start to look at the science of it and everything that we've done, this is a timeless product, and the need for it just continues to go up. In fact, I can tell you that, in my opinion, the first 24 years of this have been nothing but a warm-up act for what's coming. You know, if I look at the global business, you know, we're in 10% of the world, which isn't very much. And the two of the three biggest markets, which is really the Far East and South America, we have a very little or no presence in. Which is really exciting from a growth perspective. You know, if I look at the customer base compared to what it possibly could be, we're at 1/100% I mean, my gosh, it's just so exciting. And then you kind of look at things. So what's changed over the 24 years? Well, certainly the importance of eating more fruits and vegetables as a way to have prevention has never been bigger. You know, if anything, what's gone up is how much you're supposed to eat. You know, the amount of servings of fruits and vegetables continue to go up, and we continue to have more and more people singing this message, which supports the strength of our business. You know, we have seen the availability of fruits and vegetables go up as the sort of message of the importance of them has gone up. But interestingly, we haven't seen that happen with consumption. So despite all this messaging, despite the importance of this, despite the fact that people have solutions, the reality is a lot of people aren't taking them. And this means that this idea of we fill that gap, that's kind of what the Juice Plus message is, has never been bigger. It's never been more important. So, you know, from a solution perspective, I will tell you, with 12 billion in sales, the opportunity is great. 12 billion in Juice Plus sales, the opportunity is greater now than it has ever been because the problem is now greater than it has ever been. And then, of course, you know, kind of the game changer from a business perspective was science. You know, this idea of, hey, let's not be like network marketing and just rely on testimonials. I don't want to discount the value of the story because I think that's where the magic is. But the company realized that, you know, if we had to differentiate ourselves, we needed to kind of build a unique way of going about doing that. So let's test our products. You know, let's test them with the best science. Let's test them with the best universities and institutions. And as you know, this turned out to be a really successful business strategy. I don't know how many studies there are now. I was just reading about some new ones that are in place today. And I think there's 35 or 36, but more to come. And I will tell you, probably the most exciting thing about the science to me is, you know, a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I did an interview with Dr. Tolzer. Some of you might know, some of you might not know. He's was the first physician in the world to do surgery on an infant in the womb. It was open heart surgery. So he's a pretty well-renowned doctor, and he equally is a very successful Juice Plus distributor. And we got talking about the science of Juice Plus, and I was curious, you know, if he saw other nutritional products doing this. And it turns out that not many do, and even the ones that do, we're way ahead of them. And he explained to me this whole concept of the Medline database and anything about it. You know, Medline is a very unique research base, a research community. It's owned by the National Institute of Health, and ultimately Science people that do research really want to get in there because it's the premier database. But only about 10% of people do. And I'm sharing you his story, not mine. So, okay, so great. So did we get in? Yeah, every study's in. Oh, that's awesome. So we're in this database. We're in that 10%. But what happens when you're in there? Like, how does this people get differentiated? And he said, well, they judge things based on the power of your science and other people using it. And they called it the impact factor. And, of course, I get the concept. I don't know the numbers and the perspective. I said, so if I have an impact factor and I'm a nutritional company, what would be good? And he said, what would be good would be somewhere between 1 to 4, that number. And I said, okay, so what is Juice Plus? I remember the exact number he told me. I think it was 111, but it's over 100. And he said, I don't think people understand that as a nutritional product, take it outside of network marketing, as a nutritional product, it is the most research-supported nutritional product that exists in the world today. And this just really cements the idea of credibility in the marketplace and why Juice Plus is the brand. And then you take to that it's not just Juice Plus anymore. We're adding other products to it, and there are more coming. And the idea of building not a broad, I don't think you're ever going to see a massive product sort of catalog here. That's not the theory. That's not the company's mindset. But you're starting to see the Tower Garden. You're starting to see Complete. You're starting to see these different things being built around it. So kind of for me, I can tell you from the timing of the opportunity, it doesn't get any better. Everything is aligning up. I don't even know where to find an obstacle or a threat to Juice Plus and to what's going on there. If I kind of step on the other side of the problem, because there are really two, it goes back to something that I'm sure you guys are very familiar with. It's the problem of jobs. This concept that, if you look at the job market globally, it's a pretty ugly picture. If you're interested in seeing the picture, go read The Coming Job Wars. I won't go through all the details of it, but it basically makes an argument that 60% of the world that's looking for full-time income, it doesn't exist. There isn't enough jobs to support that. And it makes a really important conclusion, and that is that ultimately, if people can't find jobs, they create work. And why does this matter? Because this is the whole driving force of this entrepreneurial movement that is so foundational to the future of our business. And today, there are more entrepreneurs in the world than ever, and there are even a bigger amount. This pool of entrepreneurs continues to grow, but we also understand that as much as the entrepreneurial pool grows, not all opportunities are equal. Network marketing is unique because it has, it's a low investment, very, very low risk. You operate out of your home. You have to hire a bunch of people or buy buildings or expensive equipment. Because of that, and the fact that things are so systemized and all the ideation of the business is done and the customer validation and discovery and all these things are done, it's really easy for somebody to start in network marketing and become profitable very quickly. And that's an important thing to understand, because years ago, everybody would be, it's 3 to 5 years to be profitable. Well, you know what? People don't have 3 to 5 years. People want to come out of the gates. They want to start and be profitable. And we certainly see that in the Juice Plus opportunity. Kind of realize that most people aren't capable of stopping their jobs, and therefore having time flexibility mattered. And network marketing is one of the best in the world in terms of allowing time flexibility, whether you're a mom working when you want, whether you're working a full-time job and you want to kind of build your business on the side. This time flexibility component continues to grow. Of course, the global nature of network marketing and the fact that, so we're in 10% of the world. It's like so much at the beginning of this. I remember going into Israel, and the first question they asked me when they opened that was, where have you been and why didn't we know about Juice Plus? You know what? 90% of the world would ask that question, even though what we have is something the whole world needs. Clearly, because of network marketing, we have the potential to earn some level of time and financial freedom. We have the ability to create a business model that gives you choices that you won't have in any other ways. And if I look at network marketing as a business model from a risk reward, so I take all the risk associated with this and all the potential rewards, I will tell you, I don't know a business model in the world that is a better risk reward opportunity than network marketing. So knowing that, I just want to touch on this briefly. I do not believe that Juice Plus is what is perceived in the marketplace today as network marketing. Because I think the perception of network marketing is very much opportunity centric. It is very much built around this concept of time and financial freedom, of marketing the exception. And although they're evolving in a different direction, we're already there and have been. Juice Plus at its core is a mission-driven community. You know, we are ultimately focused on the mission of inspiring healthy living. To inspire healthy living, the community understands this isn't about selling something. This is about investing in the experiences of seeing people go down a better path of health. And if we do this, then what we do with this mission-driven culture is attract a really unique type of entrepreneur and people that are here for the right reasons, that are ultimately here as part of this culture to extend this mission around the world, and to do it in a way where they never put the culture at risk. And I always tell people, you know, it's one thing to say mission driven. I hear that so often, but I don't think you hear it in the words, you see it in people's actions. And in my experience, because I'm involved in a lot of different business cultures, I will tell you, for me, if you want to understand a culture, you have to sort of invest and engage with the people in it. And when I engage in the Juice Plus culture, I feel the power of mission in people. I feel that people are here for the right reasons. And if you're not, I will tell you, you might want to do some research on this, because there is so much data that shows that a mission-driven culture is one of the three components of culture that ultimately matter in terms of long-term results. It is astronomical how different mission-driven cultures perform compared to other types of cultures. We know, as I talked about, the importance of this customer-centric movement. We led this. You know, people today are scared to death because regulators are saying 51% of your customers better be end consumers. Listen, we've been over 80% for as long as I can remember. And if I pulled out the customers that are really distributors, you know, our wholesale customer base, you know, we have a lot of customers that are distributors because they want to get the products at a discount. And you'd be surprised how much of the distributor base that is. If I took those out, those numbers would only grow. You know, we are kind of the future of what network marketing is looking like from a customer-centric movement. We are that model of saying, wow, you can build a healthy, growing company with end consumers being the foundation of it. And you know, you said 80% of our sales come from consumers that are not part of our distributor base. And we always have to protect that, because that really matters. I'll share some data with you why that matters. I don't have time now, but when I'm on the tour, I'll spend a little bit more time on this. I will tell you that I think one of the differentiators is most products have a cycle. So they're kind of hit and miss. You know, one year calcium's in, the next year it's coral calcium, and then it's, you know, maybe it's energy drinks for a couple of years. Like, there's always this cycle of products. I will tell you, there's no cycle with Juice Plus, because it's a timeless product. I don't know what goes on where people say, well, I just don't need fruits and vegetables anymore. This is a huge differentiator. I don't know of any product in the marketplace that I would really consider a timeless product. And then, of course, you know, as we begin to adopt this Tower Garden concept I think you might find that it becomes very similar, although it's a very different business model. One of the big ones, and this is so important, and it goes back to a fundamental business principle, and that is that you always have to be building the next generation. Every business in the world has to move in this direction. And when I look at the Juice Plus business today, and I went back and looked at the data right before this call, about 57% of the distributor base that's coming in these days is between 18 and 34. And this is really important to the future of our business, this next generation. What's also great is that we are still seeing the generations that are above that. So, you know, the 35 to 44 and the 45 to 54, we're still seeing growth there too. I think what's unique about Juice Plus is it's just not a next generation business. I think they have an advantage in how they build the business for a lot of reasons. They have skill sets. They're much more relevant to the way business is being done today. we see successful people at all levels, but it is really important that this next generation has shown up, and we're seeing that as much as anybody in the industry. And then ultimately, we're seeing a new blueprint. And this kind of brings me back to, what I'm coming in to do. The blueprint of how to build an unlimited successful network marketing business has evolved. Today you have to understand how personal branding works and how you build influence and how you convert around that. There's this whole different process involved in the business process. And what I'm excited to do is to come in and teach that. My gosh, I think that it's just unfortunate that we don't have business development in network marketing, that we don't really teach people how to succeed in business, not just personal development, not just the how-tos of their business, but to really succeed in business. So I'm excited to teach this blueprint. This trip is the first time I get to do it. So it'll be fun, and you'll get an idea of not only seeing it, but how to implement it. Because I think an idea is worthless if you can't implement it. So we're going to talk about actually building a plan and the execution of that in your business. The last thing I want to touch on briefly is BMR. So what is BMR? It is an official program at the company. It is the largest initiative that has ever been undertaken by the company, and it stands for Business Model Reimagination. And what Business Model Reimagination is a 360-degree view of the company, of the business globally, to say, how do we improve? How do we improve our technology so we can be relevant and compete in the marketplace? How do we strengthen the infrastructure of the company so we can better support our customers and our field? How do we improve the franchisee operation so more people succeed, and then ultimately not only succeed, but succeed faster and at higher levels? What are we doing to strengthen the branding of Juice Plus? I don't want to say anything negative on this call, but I have to tell you that if somebody were to ask me if there's one thing you could change in Juice Plus, what would it be? It would be branding visibility. I am sometimes scratch my head wondering why the whole world does not know about Juice Plus. The idea of business isn't to have something this magical be the world's best kept secret. And I will tell you, there's a huge focus internally about expanding the branding around Juice Plus to get more people to know about it. Of course, this is going to make a huge difference to all of your businesses. Continuing to look at what products do we feed into this, and do we attach services to this to help strengthen the customer experience? There's a look at HR, because ultimately you have to realize the company works like the field. The stronger talent you hire, the more success you're going to have. And of course, they're continuing to look at international expansion. And why does all this matter? Because at the end of the day, the goal is pretty simple. It's called avoid stasis. You never want to be a company, and as a distributor, you're all companies too. You never want to be in a comfort zone. You never want to be at that point where you say, okay, today I'm going to get up and seek relevancy. I'm going to continue to figure out how to lead in the marketplace. And that is everything that's behind reimaging, this idea of relevancy and leadership in the marketplace. And this is the only way to really ensure that the best is yet to come. Because if you don't embrace this, for whatever reason it might be, ultimately what happens in a world that's changing at warp speed is you suffer. You suffer just like everybody else suffers. Because ultimately, people that do seek relevancy and people that lead will eventually become the leaders in the marketplace. So I know I'm already over my time, so I'm just going to leave you with this last thought. So this is, hopefully you've gotten value from this call and you understand kind of where network marketing is going and some of the things that are going on that are really going to benefit your business and the potential of it in the future, to understand why Juice Plus is different and what we're doing to ensure to seek relevancy and lead with BMR. But ultimately, understand this: none of that matters if you aren't willing to do your part. I always tell people, life is simple. It's 3 choices about everything in your life. The first is acceptance. So you can listen to all this and be excited and be motivated and ultimately do nothing. You can just sort of accept life as it is. And that's a choice, and it's a choice you can make. I will tell you that people that gravitate toward acceptance are the people that live in a comfort zone. And I've always believed that the comfort zone is the tomb of your potential. It is the tomb that stops you from pursuing and being, having, and doing more in life. And to me, I've never believed much in acceptance, because ultimately I'm always in a state of growth. And I think that's an important mindset to have. As you begin to say, what's my other choices? The second choice is what so many people do. They focus on what they can't control. You hear about, like, oh the job market's doing this and the government's doing this, and look what my friend did to me. And you know what, if I had only been raised with money, if I had only went to school, if, listen, if you focus on what you can control or what you do not control, all you do is follow a path of suffering. So if you want to suffer in life, then focus on what you can't control. So what's the best choice? The best choice is to focus on what you can control. To pay attention to the timing that's going on in your Juice Plus business, the timing of all these things that are happening in network marketing, the opportunities that exist in the world. Understand that this timing is in your favor. And we are, in my opinion, in the early stages of a momentum wave. And this is the time where, what do you want to do? You want to work hard. You want to roll up your sleeves. You want to understand that this is a game of critical mass. It's a game of building lots of relationships with a team and certainly with a customer base. And then even better than working hard, because I'm a hard worker, what wisdom has taught me is to learn how to work smart, to understand how to properly develop my value in the marketplace, so that where somebody might invest 10 hours to get a certain value, I can get more value than that in 10 minutes. My whole business life has been teaching people how to work smart. That is why I'm coming in to be part of this leadership event throughout all of Australia. And then I will tell you this, kind of the last thing is none of this matters if you do not embrace the courage to grow and the perseverance that it takes to turn your dreams into reality. I can promise you this, there will be obstacles ahead. Some you will see, some you will not see. Some will derail you, some will not. But I will tell you that when your dream and the pursuit of it is so big that no obstacle can defeat you, and this is what defines your courage, and this is what defines your perseverance, then anything becomes possible. So I really look forward to being there next month to kind of teach you guys this secret blueprint. And I don't want to say secret like it's something special, it's just changing. I want to teach you the game of network marketing. I want to teach you how to win at a higher level. I certainly look forward to some of the smaller events where I get to kind of share what I shared tonight with maybe some of your guests or some of your team that weren't on the call. But ultimately, I want to teach you how to win. I want to teach you how to win big. I want to spend time talking about this new blueprint and branding and visibility and influence building and converting traffic and all this stuff that's going on. So I wish you guys the best. I thank you for investing your time into this call, and I'm so excited to see all of you next month.
Oh my gosh, Gordon, comfort zone is the tomb of your potential. I have just written that down. That's going up on my board. Thank you so much. There were so many gold nuggets there. I can't believe that. It was incredible. The comments that are flowing in from everybody to say thank you so much for your time. We are so grateful and we are so pumped. Just a reminder to everybody, Saturday the 16th of September, in a couple of weeks' time, please get off this call now, go and book your ticket to Saturday the 16th. And if you are a sales coordinator or above, we have the absolute joy of 4 hours of concentrated time with Gordon on the Friday night. Gordon, thank you so much for your time. Have a beautiful day. I'm going to open up the lines now. Please unmute yourself, guys, and thank Gordon